Welcome back to Let Us Pray. I'm Emily.
You already know who it is. I don't even got to introduce myself. Say my name.
The Williamses is who we are. We are doing a cool little episode where last time we asked each other, or we asked you for your assumptions of us, but this time around we're going to ask each other questions.
We're going to assume each other.
We're going to assume each other. We have no idea what the other person is going to be asking, so buckle up because CJ has a microphone and he has questions in his notes app.
You know, it's always fun when I hear people when other people are like, oh, we have no idea what the other person's asking. Like in Practical Jokers, when they're like, I have no idea what the punishment is. Something tells me you have an idea.
Know. Yeah,
we honestly don't know, but it's always funny when you have to point that out. It's like, trust me, we have no idea what the other person's going to say.
Well, sometimes it's like, okay, we kind of plan. I don't know. Shut up. Okay.
Shout out to the Practical Jokers. Shout out Sal
Jokers.
and Chrissy DeStefano. I love Hey Babe.
All right, I want to go first. Can I go first?
Go first.
Okay. What are some fun and interesting alternatives to war that countries could settle their differences with?
Pillow fights. I want to see other countries have pillow fights. No, fun, interesting alternatives to war. What's a fun alternative to war?
It's an alternative. It's not, instead of guns, what could we use?
I don't know anything. I think any other alternative I could think of would cause more problems. Like settle it with a game of Monopoly. And that's
that would cause more problems.
That's going to cause more issues because
I think the guns would come eventually.
The guns are still going to come out after a game of Monopoly.
I was going to say balloons, but that's a little
balloons. Balloons? What would that solve?
It was a joke based off of. Never mind.
Oh, no, I want to hear it. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Based off of yesterday's news.
I was about to say, I was like, or we're already in some turmoil because of balloons, so I don't think
that was the joke.
Like this is already a real thing. I don't know. Fun alternatives to war. You know, I've thought about something like this before, where it's like, why don't dude just talk it out or something? But
why don't we just talk about it, guys?
But I want to give like a good answer. Like, what's a fun alternative to war?
I mean, we can come back to it.
Was like, because I want it to be fair but sturdy, because it can't be
tic-tac-toe.
Yeah,
or no,
game of wits.
What I meant to say was rock, paper, scissors.
That's what I was gonna say. It can't be something as simple as rock, paper, scissors, because that's too chancy. Because then it's like, oh, I get what I want just because I happen to pick. Like, there's not enough skill involved to rock, paper, scissors. And if anyone that says that there's skill involved to rock, paper, scissors,
there's none. It's just a game of chance. You're like, or you just wait for the other person to throw it down, and you're like, okay, let me just change mine last minute.
What if instead of real war, we settled this on Modern Warfare, Call of Duty? What if they do like,
virtual war?
Yeah, virtual. Like just go ham and cheese, and that gives you the outcome.
Or GTA.
Or GTA. That's going to get really aggressive. Or what if we let sports handle how we solve
a good
debates?
Game of soccer.
Like if football game, there's nothing. Humans kind of suck because anything I could think of is going to turn violent at some point.
Synchronized swimming.
Synchronized swimming, yes.
Synchronized swimming.
You can't get aggressive with synchronized swimming. You have to put the people that want to go to war have to put together their best teams. They have to be involved, and they have to create a synchronized swimming routine. Something silly with, what was that thing where if you want to argue, suck helium from a balloon?
Oh, yeah.
Do that. So if you could still stay mad while like having a heated debate after doing that, while synchronized swimming, that's the key.
Synchronized swimming.
Synchronized helium breath swimming.
When you come up to gasp for air, you take a hit of a balloon. Well, balloons are involved.
Hit of a balloon. All right, guys. 1, 2, 3. That's the answer.
Okay, I want your question.
That's the answer. All right, question number 1. I think I remember this one, so I don't need to. All right. So would you rather go back 10 years and continue life knowing what you know now, or jump forward 10 years but with $10 million in the bank?
I'm jumping forward. Wait, if I go back, then what?
You go back 10 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
and so everything's basically the same, but you carry the knowledge that you have today. So everything that you've learned between now and then, or then and now,
Yeah.
you take back with you. So you basically restart, with the knowledge of a 25-year-old.
That's a tough one. I think I'll have to go back because I have a fear of being left out of information, or information being withheld from me. Like,
But,
this
like,
is why
missing a big chunk of your life.
Yeah, this is why I had a big problem with like you proposing, because it was something that
Bringing up other skeletons.
I didn't have any idea of. Like, it was something that you kept from me, and I obviously for good reason.
Like,
Thank
who
you.
wouldn't keep that from somebody? Just so you know, I'm gonna propose to you.
So I think me missing pieces of my own life,
That's
that's
a big
gonna
piece too.
that's messing with me, and like I think that would affect me in such a negative way that there wouldn't be time to think about money.
Well, you have 10 mil.
Oh God.
You're basically, so that's, you're
Okay.
35
Here, I
and
have
you'll
it.
be able
I
to
cracked
retire.
the code. I will come up with inventions that were invented 10 years later.
Between the last 10 years,
Yeah.
you would come up with them.
Yeah, I will come up, quote unquote, come up with them and then tell myself 10 years ago.
Let's see, and then you get your millions.
Yeah,
still.
and then I'll still get my million, so I win.
Would you change anything about your life? Like, would you, because I was before you met me, obviously. So at that point in the relationships that you were in, would you have changed anything about them? Meaning you might be with somebody else, or would you purposely go through those same situations just so you could meet me?
I would go through them because I think that they all connected with how I got saved and like the dependency that I had on the Lord during that time. And
I think so, but something tells me that there's some things about some of those relationships that you would change, which ultimately would alter
I would
your
change some aspects of them,
path.
but
that changes everything.
like what we were talking about earlier, I would change how I respond to those situations, but I wouldn't change me
but
going through
that
them.
changes the situation. In all the movies are like, you can't even step on a butterfly like in the past because that alters the future. If you change how you reacted to those situations,
Stop
it
trying
will
to
also
get
change
me.
your future.
You're trying to corner me.
She wants nothing to do with me.
Yes, I do. That's what you want me to say.
She wants me out of her life. I knew it. I felt it in my soul.
Okay, what is something that you just recently realized that you are embarrassed of that you didn't realize earlier?
Something
that, you know how we talked about you have 5% shame?
Yeah, I have shame.
Mm-hmm. 5%. What does that 5% look? What does that 5% look like these days? That you didn't really have or expect before.
When I fart real nasty.
Oh, you have some shame?
Well, only real nasty in a sense where there's a scent. Like, I'm ashamed of the ones that have smell. Like, I love to do it really
Ew.
loud. Like, if I could just rip it loud, no shame in that. But
You're disgusting.
like, I was really gassy yesterday in my hotel room, and I was like, man, thank God Emily's not here, because when I know
that's
that
so
it's going to
gross.
like.
And not because you had a lady friend there.
Right, like when I know it's gonna permeate.
you were
Oh
ripping
God,
it.
there couldn't even be a guy friend in there. It was rough.
No other human soul.
It was much better that I was by myself, because I'm like, I don't want to disrespect your air. Like when I know it's
Thank
gonna
you.
permeate like your breathing zone, then I'm like, I purposely will hold it back, and then I end up like getting stomach aches. I'm like, oh man, I really gotta let one go, and I have to like go somewhere else and just release a hurricane at that point.
I'm just glad it didn't happen in my presence.
I'm telling, like, that was it rocked my world. That was something I hadn't experienced in a while. It was those wings, man. It was,
Ew. Okay.
I know
Okay.
it's the wings. No. I gotta say it now.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I
Okay, you
was
should
looking
have
for
shame
the
on
best
that.
hot wing spots. Or
So
just,
my question was that is something that you just recently realized that you were embarrassed of that you didn't realize earlier.
yeah, and it's like it's not. Again, it's not the noise. Like I'll tear it. I don't have a problem
I know.
with the sound.
We know.
I don't want to burn your nose hairs.
Oh, gosh.
But it was definitely those wings. I did find like a decent hot wing spot in South Carolina. It was I'd probably get a different sauce. I should do food reviews.
Oh,
But it was a
God.
great price. $12 got me 10 wings and a load of basket of fries and a drink.
I feel like your food reviews would be extremely simple. Like,
Well,
you know,
because
it's
I couldn't.
fine.
That's good. That's not good. I
You
just
know,
don't
food
know.
reviews have to be more in depth than that.
Not really. I mean, like I was telling you about the Keith guy on TikTok. I think his name is Keith, but he just tells his opinion about the food. But for me, I'd get in my head and I'm like, I have to do or know all the culinary terms and how to describe this as umami or spicy and all that fun stuff. I would do that and get in my head, but you just have to talk about the food. I could give my opinions on food
Oh, we know.
and
Give
and
your
be
opinion
like,
on anything.
I could, yeah, I really enjoyed it, or didn't enjoy this. I could see how much other people would. So for me, the place that I tried yesterday, I enjoyed the combo and the price of it
Side
all.
question.
Did not enjoy the sauce.
What is the worst meal, or not the worst meal, the worst restaurant meal
Mhm.
you've ever had? If you've had one.
Everyone's had one. Honestly, the most recent one is when we went to Durham to see my cousins, and
Where did we go?
I don't remember. I think it was Bonefish Grill.
Oh,
It was Bonefish Grill, and
that
I-
was so bad for you. Mine
It
was good.
was
and Bonefish
terrible.
usually hits. Like it's usually
Bonefish
like,
hits. The Bang Bang Shrimp was great. All the appetizers were amazing. The appetizers were great.
Oh,
and
your
then-
meal looked so bland.
After I ate it, my uncle decided to hit me with the wisdom. He's like, never order steak at a fish
I
restaurant.
mean, that's what everyone knows, and opposite too. Don't
Well,
order
I didn't-
a seafood.
in my head, I didn't take it as Bonefish Grill. But I didn't take it as being a fish restaurant only. I thought, that's just the name of it. It's just Bonefish Grill. But I got a filet mignon. I told them to do medium rare, but they did, or medium well, sorry. And they did like really
Rare.
well done.
Oh.
It was dry. And then I got the mac and cheese on the side, and it was just basically watery noodles.
Like, I don't understand why you don't just be like, hey, this is not it. Could you please give me something else?
It's already, I don't want to wait for like another plate and then hold up everybody else.
You didn't
so-
even finish your plate, so you still left hungry.
I ate the steak. It was hard.
You-
But the seasoning was good, but the juiciness and all that was not there with that steak. And then they had the seasonal greens, which was just a bowl of what was it? What's the leaf?
Seasonal greens.
What's the green leaf?
It's not spinach. It's not kale. It's
I think
not,
it was spinach. I think it was spinach.
it was not. Was it?
I
Spinach?
almost said caviar. I don't know why. I think it was spinach. It was just really moist
Oh,
spinach.
it was spinach because you thought it would be like spinach dip.
I thought it'd be something good. It was just really wet spinach.
It was
And
just spinach
It was
and
just
water.
not a good meal. It was
Like,
not a good meal. I did
really
not
wet
enjoy it. Did not enjoy it. But I've had great bonefish meals, so this is no knock to you, bonefish. But your steak wasn't it in Durham.
It was not it. In Durham.
Your Durham steaks are not hitting.
My turn or your turn for me.
Since we're on the topic of food, what food is delicious but a pain to eat?
Oh my gosh, you already know my answer.
I know mine.
I love shrimp.
That's like a literal life-threatening pain to eat.
I'm allergic, but like I'm not allergic to after like it's been cooked and heated up and all
She's
the
allergic to
bacteria
cold
whatever.
shrimp.
It's like cold shrimp. What is that called?
Raw
It has a
shrimp
name.
cocktail.
Yeah, cocktail shrimp. That it like makes my throat really itchy, but I love it and I'll eat it anyway.
Risks
But
death
also
over shrimp.
Painful foods dairy.
Oh, we're
And
talking about that kind of pain.
Are you talking about like painful as in it's a lot of work?
Well, whatever your definition of pain is. So yes, those foods are painful. They're painful for all of us.
What about you?
Captain Crunch.
Oh, like it hurts the top of your
Hands
mouth.
down.
The
Captain
roof of your
Crunch is
mouth.
delicious, but you will not have a roof of your mouth when you're done eating that.
I had something like that the other day. I think I was eating the Trix and it did that to me.
Blow pops do the same thing. For some reason, when you
Yeah, they be
eat a blow
cutting.
pop long enough, like they get really sharp on the sides. I don't know why or who invented that or why it still happens. But if
Right,
you're having
it's
a blow
2023.
pop,
Let's fix this
Right.
blow pop issue.
just like they can't fix the Reese's cup issue. Like when you take the little the
There will
little
always
pants
be
off the
remnants.
Reese's, like it still peels apart of the skin. So I'm trying to undress my Reese's so I can eat it.
These Reese's out here like giving it up to anybody.
I paid for it.
Oh my god. That's so bad. All right, I want to see what question to ask you. I want it to be good. I have a few.
How many did you write down?
I have a lot. What is the weirdest thing a guest has done at your house or a past roommate
A past roommate.
or a guest?
Let me go through roommates first because I've lived through, right, like, we're together more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
I got to
What
go through
weirdest
all my
thing
past
that
roommates.
they've done in the presence of your house? I know, I have thought-provoking questions.
I have.
The real important things in
These-
life.
So most of my roommate experience obviously is in college, and a lot of it happened within that first or second year when I went away. It was the year before I met you. A
Mhm.
lot of that happened with my roommates and stuff. I think
I thought of one for you. Didn't you have a roommate when you lived in Plaza that he was kind of a jerk?
all of them essentially. The only
And-
roommate
but,
that I still
like-
like is Chris.
Hear that, Chris?
Shout out, Chris.
But you
Chris
had one. It was
rolls.
something about like trash, and he would do some weird things like with me.
Oh no, that wasn't Plaza. That was the year before I met you. That was
Oh.
it's a really big dude. I ain't gonna say his name, but
Call him out.
I ain't gonna pull him out there like that. But he did a lot of things that really just kind of got under my skin, and one of them, and I don't like unprovoked coaching from people that are more behind than you. It is essentially in a way, and I'll put it like
Mhm.
this. I was much more fit than I am now. I was at least maybe like 30 pounds lighter than I am now. I went to the gym a little more frequently. And at that time, I was still trying to go more to get back to, I guess, my high school weight around there or something. This guy was about 3 times my size. And he would come back from, whatever walk or something that he did, which I'm not sure how far he went, but he'd always try to coach me on, different things to do to go through weight loss or to get in shape. And I'm like, dude, okay. And I don't really call people out at the time of it. I'm always the kind of person, I'll hear you out. But then at a certain point, I'm like, leave me alone. Because one, I didn't ask for this. Two, I think I have a better understanding than you do at the point. And one of the things that got under my skin
What?
is he said,
Say it.
he's like, hey, bro, because I was more concerned about going and working out than really I would. I had a meal plan at that time, so I would just go to the cafeteria and get some stuff to eat at UCF. And he's like, hey, man, it all starts in the kitchen.
No.
And I was really like, really?
Okay,
You're
well,
sitting
here.
here telling me to my face it all starts in the
Let's-
kitchen
I wanna
after
play-
inhaling an entire box
Okay,
of
fine.
White Castle burgers.
Oh, you witnessed this.
I
Okay,
watched
because
this.
it would be one thing if he was giving you that advice and he was this size, but some kind of thyroid issue or health issue from like
I don't think so.
down the line.
I don't think so.
Like, but you're saying he's eating White Castle and
This
telling you
man
it
was
starts in the kitchen.
consuming
That's not cool.
everything. Like I've never seen someone go through like a whole box of like food that quickly. And then the thing that you're referring to is the trash situation, the trash fiasco. And that was where we had a rule in our place where it was, if you use the trash at all, if you throw anything in there, you have to take it out a few times. So if you see it full, just take it out. One of my roommates, his response to that was, well, I'll just put a trash can in my room so I don't have to take out your trash. Stupid, annoying, immature, whatever, fine, do it. It's your trash. Take care of it. So everyone else used the kitchen trash, but so this other guy, he's like, well, I'm going to kind of do the same thing. And he used to put his trash in a little plastic bag right by the AC vent, you know, the little thing that like sucks in all the air through the apartment so we could circulate through the AC vent, and made the whole place smell like
That's
garbage.
disgusting.
And we used to get very irritated, and we'd be like, yo, stop putting it there. And I was like, just put it in the trash. He's like, no, I don't want to take out you guys' trash, which I don't get the big deal in that. It's just trash.
Right.
Like, just if there's a full trash can, like whether it's your trash, our trash, whatever. But so that was his thing about it. And then so I used to just, he would always put the plastic bag there. I used to just grab it off and just throw it away. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. And this man wrote me a note on the fridge. He wrote a note on the fridge that says, yo, stop touching my stuff. I was like, what stuff? This is garbage. What do you mean this is stuff? And it turned into this whole thing. And he was the first roommate that I had to threaten in college.
Oh gosh.
And I never saw him again after that.
Threaten how? Never mind.
Because obviously it kept escalating, and then at a certain point he wrote another note on his door.
Not
He would
the
never say this stuff
notes.
to my face. And one thing I pride myself on is when I have a problem with someone as an adult, I'm not afraid to be confrontational. I try to be fair and reasonable with people, but if you're gonna, like, you know, push my buttons or poke the bear, so to speak, I'm going to respond to your face
accordingly.
and so accordingly. So he wrote a note on his door, said, I bet you can't whoop me though. So this is after like it had escalated
he
like a few
started
days.
it.
Yeah, right. That it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
So that I'm
He threatened you.
right. I don't move unless provoked. I'm usually pretty calm. But he wrote, bet you won't whoop me though. And I was like, bet. You have to come out of your room. And then so one day I caught him lacking. He was on the phone trying to brush his teeth, and I popped out of my room. I was like, so what's that note about? And he was trying to get off the phone. I was like, no, stay on the phone. I want your friend to hear this.
Oh no.
And so he's trying to get off the phone and all that. It's like, no, I wasn't trying to start nothing. You guys are starting with
How
me.
you gonna say come
And-
whoop me and then say like I wasn't trying to start
Oh
something?
my God, you're like relighting fires right now.
Let me not.
He said I wasn't trying to start nothing. Y'all kept touching my stuff, and then I just, basically ripped through him verbally. We
Ask
didn't,
me a question.
we didn't
before
end up fighting.
You
but
end up.
Wait. But yeah, he ended up moving out. So
I mean, I would too.
apparently, I guess my angry side isn't fun. All right. What was the most unsettling film you've ever seen?
Unsettling.
I have a couple ideas.
You do?
Just a couple.
Do you know what I'm gonna say?
No, I have a couple ideas of what you would say.
I mean, the first one off the top of my head is Hereditary. That movie
I
is
knew
like,
it.
I will never shut up about it just because it's freaking weird. Like that little thing that girl does, like.
What's weird about that is that I don't think she was a key part of the movie as
She
I thought
wasn't.
she would be.
No, she got. Never mind. I'm not gonna spoil anything. The
Well,
movie's been
how
out.
long has it been out?
Yeah, it's been out a while.
It's been out. Spoil it.
Okay, her head gets ripped off in the car.
Popped out of the snow like daisies.
And that's pretty soon into the movie. So
yeah, and like in the previews, they definitely make it apparent to like do that
Yeah.
and have that be known in there. But her role in the movie, I feel like I thought she was gonna be doing more of the haunting. Like I
Yeah.
thought that sound was gonna be like The Grudge, where it's like like when you
Yeah.
hear that, like you're about to get jacked.
I think they did a good job in that movie with just like the sounds, because there's always that underlying like tension in like that weird
Right.
unsettling like
Yeah.
the soundtrack is very important. So
I think for me that movie wasn't like
you
as-
watched it with me the first time
Yeah.
I saw it by myself. Let's
Oh.
just talk about that.
well because for me I'm like it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. I think
It's not scary.
the idea
Unsettling.
okay, that's fair. Like the idea behind it, like the whole purpose and all that stuff and all the things that they said, I think that for me was more unsettling
Mm-hmm.
than the actual movie itself. But I guess I'm gonna go with Chris Stefano on this one, where he talked about Smile. I guess he
Smile
watched
is
recently.
pretty unsettling.
That is, it was a cool movie, but it was a little unsettling
You
because I
know-
was definitely looking over my shoulder a bit for a couple days after watching it. I was like,
You're like, don't smile at me, please. The older that I get, the like still have an appreciation for horror movies, and I love that is my alley right there. Horror films, love it. However, the older that I get, the more like unsettled I feel by them. I'm like, I don't know if it's like I'm like the Lord is trying to
you're gonna feel worse when you start having kids. Apparently, that's
Yeah?
the case. That's what I've heard from
'Cause
other people.
you
They
don't
say
want them to like experience
I don't know if
it
it's
what?
or maybe because you start picturing things happening to your family. I don't because I guess your heart and mind changes like when you start producing children. Something about you just clicks. Apparently, men start crying more.
Let's hurry up and pop out a baby.
we're gonna
I need to see you
find out.
shed some tears.
Just stab me or something. I might cry for that. Don't
So
stab
you
me.
would say Smile would be yours.
Recently, that
Yeah,
that was probably the
agree.
most unsettling.
That
but I
was-
kind of want
I
to
was-
watch it again. I don't
Let's
know why.
watch it again. It was one of the movies that you finally ended and you were like, huh.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, it got
that
me.
wasn't bad.
It was
pretty
that was
good.
the better scary movie I've seen recently.
Recently, yeah.
Like
they
there's
usually
been a
suck
string of them
now.
where it's like this is kind of stupid.
Mm-hmm. Okay. If you could add any weird holiday to the calendar, what would it be?
Like a made up one.
Anything. Weird holiday. There's a holiday for everything these days.
There is. Well, okay, so there's a lots of random holidays, but I guess add to the calendar means make it government official kind of thing, like a day off, because there's a bunch of weird, like the Hug a Drummer Day is October 10th.
I hate that you know that.
I don't know why I remember that, but I do recall that Hug a Drummer Day is in October. I think it's either the 10th or the 12th, but I know Hug a Drummer Day is in October, and nobody ever hugs me, so it's not like it means anything. I post the same meme every
They
single
better
year.
not.
You want me to get some hugs?
No, I
It's
don't
just a
want you to
hug.
get-
What's wrong with people
You
hugging
sound
me?
like those guys in high school, like, where my hug
Where
at?
my hug at, girl?
Ew.
I was never that guy, but what's
I
wrong with
feel-
me getting hugs? What if I hug
You
dudes?
can get hugs. I don't care.
Okay.
As long as you consent.
See, speaking of hugs, I do this weird thing now where I was definitely more, I guess, of a hugger in my past, but since being with you for so long, I never initiate them anymore, and I could almost feel people's tension. So,
You're allowed.
well, it's not that I feel like I'm not allowed, but it's more, I guess, with all that, like, you know, Me Too stuff happening and whatnot. I kind of feel where it's like, if you don't invite me to give you a hug, I probably won't
and
do
it's
it.
also a lot more weird in North Carolina than it was in South Florida.
Maybe that's the thing.
Because like
Yeah.
that, they're a whole other breed of people. Like over here, it's like there's people that are just not huggers, and they're like,
Mhm.
you could tell they're uncomfortable, and so
Right.
you'd be like, oh, do you like? Can I hug you? Like,
Right.
and it's like weird.
But I don't have that problem with men, obviously.
That's
'cause-
weird.
Well, you know, it's funny. Like, I get the most hugs from dudes. Like, all my guy friends, we just hug each other. But I think, I don't know if it's just people trying to be safe of our space, where it's like, all right, he's in a relationship, or they respect you, or maybe if they feel
But
like
it's
maybe
just a hug. Like,
I know,
why do people like?
but there's
think about
so much
this?
to interpret about it.
There-
But for us, it was
hugs
cultural.
are not that serious. It definitely is cultural. Like we grew up where it's like, oh, come here. Like it's like, and you know, you just give each other a hug.
But like the most,
It ain't that serious.
the most issue is like with
Even
women,
a kiss on the
so-
cheek.
Now, I didn't really do a lot of that.
I
I'll
did.
hug people, but I think with a lot of the women I encounter these days, like especially like if we're just meeting or maybe we've seen each other a few times or we're saying hi, now it's like I definitely feel this weird thing where it's like I say awkward highs to other women because it's like, all right, usually I'm used to being like, oh, hey, how are you? And now I'm just like, hey, and I stand there and just look at them, and I feel like they do the same thing. I'm just like, hi. Do we shake hands? Do we high five? What are we gonna do here?
This is what
Because
you
they
do.
don't initiate
Here, let
it,
me
and
give
I
you
don't
some
want to.
advice.
I don't want to force that on anybody.
Let me give you some advice. Initiate a side hug. That's the classic church move. Side hug.
I don't know.
It's safe for everyone.
It's safer if they initiate. Other than that, I'm just gonna say hi and move on about my life. If they feel awkward, then that's fine. We're just gonna have to
You're
accept
so
that.
weird. Like, I can't stand when I'm going up to someone and I give them a hug. I'm a hugger. Like, I'm gonna hug you. I don't care.
But then so it's
you're
receptive because you do it.
right.
It's different if I
You could
just
be
go
that-
around trying to like hug chicks.
No, because I know people that it's in their personalities because they're huggers too, and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, "Hi, anything you do with confidence, it will be received well."
Unless it's with Christy.
It's not very confident.
Don't touch
on
me.
that.
Whose turn is it? My turn or
Yours.
your turn?
Mhm.
My turn? All right.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Who do you feel like you know even though you've never met them?
Jesus Christ. Just kidding.
If
Let
that's
me
your
think.
answer, that's
No,
your
that's
answer.
not
I'm like-
that's not my answer. Who do I feel like I know, but I've never met in my life
Mhm.
ever? I would say Tori Kelly.
What do you think you know about Tori Kelly?
She's
I want
awesome.
you to
She's the best person ever.
Describe her how you think she'd be if she were in the room right now, and let's see if you're correct. Let's ask Tori. So Tori's right here. What do you think
Just,
she's doing?
You know, good vibes. Oh, you know what? Better answer. Billie Eilish.
Billie. So Tori, she doesn't know you. Long story short, but Billie, she knows you.
Yeah,
Why
I
Billie
love
Eilish?
her. I love her. She's just, she's just there and like
Most of us
hanging.
are.
And she's a creative soul, but she also like, I feel like she's funny, but also deep, but also
Better like.
better like I don't know. I know Billy. We know each other. We're first name basis.
Yeah, me and Bills.
me and Bilbo.
Me and Bill I feel like I know Sal.
Oh, that's a good one. Any of the
really-
Jokers?
Yeah,
Impractical
I feel like
Jokers.
I've almost run into the Jokers when we used to live in Orlando because they would sometimes hang around like the spots where I used to gig. But I say almost because it was always the
Yeah.
times they showed up was the nights that I wasn't gigging there. But they'd
Yeah.
show up to all the spots that I would gig at. But because Joey Fatone is down there in Orlando because he has his restaurant and stuff. But I really feel like I know Sal, and Sal, if you're watching, and we know you are.
That was the only time you could use that.
It's the only time I could get away with that. Please don't sue me for copyright, but I do. I appreciate you, Sal and Chris. But I definitely feel like I know. Like if me and Sal were to just hang out for a day, I feel like there would be no dead pauses. Like I'd understand who he is.
he
I'd be
would
able
have
to
no
joke
dead pauses
him.
with anyone because he does that for a living.
That's fair, but no, I'm sure he still has awkward encounters with people where he's like, okay,
I
but
mean, I feel
he
like his
takes
whole
those-
life is improv.
he takes those encounters and he turns it into comedy and improv, and that's the true skill. And he turned it around.
That's another song.
Oh, it's there's a lot of turning.
Oh, Jesus be turning.
Just like the hokey pokey.
Turn it all around. Okay, I
That's
have
what
a
it's
fun
all about.
question. And I know we said for like 4.
Just go.
Okay.
Just do it. It better be fun. I better be like zipping off of this couch.
Oh, that's not that fun.
All right, no, ask it.
Still ask it.
Why did you just got so defeated?
It's really not that good. No, I don't want to.
You just said it's fun. Ask it. Be confident.
Oh.
Anything you do with confidence will be received well.
What weird smells do you like?
That's not a fun question.
I panicked. It wasn't going to be the question that I asked you. I panicked.
What's the question you're
I
going to ask me?
panicked. Oh, wait, but now I need to know.
I don't know.
What weird smells do you like? I like gasoline. Gasolina.
This is going to sound really strange.
Oh, no.
It's
No.
not-
Don't say it.
You don't even know what I'm gonna
scared.
say. But it's like, it's not that I enjoy the smell. But there's something in my DNA
Uh-huh.
that doesn't allow me to stop smelling things when they smell bad.
What is it?
I don't know.
Just
So
bad
remember,
things?
just weird like things that remember the time when remember we were shopping at Walmart and I grabbed like the chicken
You
like from
always have to
underneath?
give it a whiff.
And I guess-
Why?
Exactly. I don't understand why.
It's
Like it is
disgusting.
an impulse that
I
I
would
cannot
gag.
stop. Like when something just like when I'm like, ew, that's gross, and I just have to smell it, just really
Ew.
check it out and analyze it. So
Absolutely not.
when I grabbed that chicken and like I guess whatever juices were on the bottom, and you remember that?
Okay, stop.
And I was like smelling my fingers. I was like, here,
All
smell
right,
this.
All right, last question. What's the best bumper sticker you've ever seen? I feel like you've seen some good ones.
I've seen a good one, and I want to say it, but
Oh,
it's
is it
not.
inappropriate?
It's not bad. Well, I mean, the message behind it is kind of bad, but because they switched the letters, you can say it, but it sounds like something
bumper
else.
sticker.
It's a bumper sticker.
Okay. Don't say it.
I used to say it in a youth group.
Why? We're not
We
going to
would,
end the episode with you being a heathen.
We would go no, because we would chant it around the youth group, and like the leaders would just be like, ah ha ha ha, you know, kind of like these guys are just being stupid.
Right,
like it's
just-
not bad.
Just say it.
I'm going knucking futs.
That's so dumb. Why did you say that?
Because it was the funniest thing. I remember we were going to youth camp one day, and we saw the bumper sticker, but then some guy in the back shouted, "I'm going knucking futs," and then we all turned on like, "What?" And so we realized
Blew your
kind of what
mind.
happened. We're
Your
like,
brain
"Did you
has
just
to
say that?"
process.
And then we were so tickled by it, being like the 14-year-old boys that we were.
Oh,
We just started
Lord.
chanting it around. I remember barging into someone's hotel room, and we like there's 4 of us just jumping on their beds and just chanting that, like, "Knock 'em in the futs, I'ma knock 'em in the futs," and we just kept doing
That is
that.
so stupid.
again.
Oh, y'all, I'm sorry
And
that I asked.
Shout
him
out to
that.
Robert, Anthony, Zach. I know y'all remember that. If you
That's so dumb.
who else was there? I think that was a time where Danny and Selena, and
All y'all's.
that was a time back in the day before we all got aggressive.
Well, this was fun, boo. Love you.
Oh, that sucked. Let us pray pod
I
at
said love you.
gmail.com. I love you too.
Aw.
Aw. Afterthought. Let us pray pod at gmail.com. Let us pray on Instagram, TikTok, all the socials. Send us hate mail, send us love mail, send us something.
Like, subscribe.
Send us topic ideas. If there's something you guys wanted to hear, if you're like, I've never heard them talk about this, send it to us on there and we'll talk about it. I'll talk about it any way you want me to talk about it.
No, you
And
won't.
I won't.
I
but
won't allow it.
we actually have some cool initiatives coming up that we've been planning kind of on the side that we never talked about, that we really just kind of want to branch out and reach the community around us and just really kind of grow with you guys and grow our community. So this isn't the end of us. Obviously, it's only episode 6, but we definitely been talking about like doing some things for outreach in the community, because
Yes.
a big part of our hearts and why we do a lot of the stuff we do is to be able to help others. So eventually you guys will hear about that when we figure out the logistics of it. But just know,
People will get helped.
people people will get helped. We're keeping that as a tagline for whenever we come out with it.
Remember.
Always remember, people will get helped.
Yes. And remember to stay fresh.
And stay fresh and help people.
Yes.
Be the person in need. You don't need to be rich. You
Be
don't
the
need to have a
person
lot of
in need.
No, if you're the person in need.
Bye.